The moment the heart monitor screamed that long, flat note, I felt my soul hovering over the hospital bed. I looked down at my wrinkled, dying body. And I looked at Claire. My wife of 50 years. Even at my deathbed, her face was a mask of ice. I used my last breath to whisper the question that had haunted me for half a century. Claire, in 50 years, did you ever love me? Even for a second? She froze. Her hand twitched in mine. I saw hesitation in her eyes. But she didn't say a word. The darkness took me before she could answer. And in that final moment, my heart shattered. If I get a do-over, I thought, I'm never looking at you again, Claire Sterling. I gasped, waking up to the smell of floor wax and old textbooks. Ethan? You with us? I looked up. Mr. Harrison's AP History class. The clock on the wall said 10 a.m. The date on the whiteboard. 3 months before graduation. I touched my face. Smooth skin. No wrinkles. My heart was pounding like a drum. I wasn't dead. I was 18. I was back. I looked out the window at the manicured lawn of our prep school. God gave me a second chance. In my past life, the Ford family and the Sterling family merged businesses. I was the simp husband who wasn't good enough. Claire was the Juilliard-bound cello prodigy who was forced to marry me. I spent 50 years trying to melt a glacier. Not this time. This time, I live for me. Suddenly, the door opened. The principal walked in, followed by her 18-year-old Claire. She looked like a porcelain doll, cold, perfect, untouchable. In my last life. This was the day she transferred here to bond with her future fiancé. She walked to the front, scanning the room. Her eyes locked on me. And for the first time, was that panic in her eyes? She walked straight to my desk. The whole class went silent. Her voice trembled slightly. Ethan, is this seat taken? In my past life, I would have kicked my best friend out of that chair just to have her near me. But today? I didn't even blink. I looked her dead in the eye and said, yeah. I like my personal space. Go sit somewhere else. The silence in the room was deafening. Claire looked like I had just slapped her. Her lips parted, her eyes widening in total shock. She stood there, gripping her backpack straps until her knuckles turned white. I didn't care. I stood up, grabbed my books, and walked to the empty desk in the back corner. Right next to the janitor's closet. Mr. Harrison, I said coolly. I'll sit here. Better view. Claire stood frozen in the aisle. Her eyes, were they tearing up? Impossible. The Ice Queen doesn't cry. I ignored her, pulled out my phone, and texted my boys. Basketball court. Now. I'm cutting class. That night, my dad, the CEO of Ford Industries, pulled me aside. Ethan, the Sterlings are coming for dinner. I bought this for you to give to Claire. He handed me a velvet box. A diamond necklace. Worth at least $50K. In my past life, I showered her with diamonds. She never wore them. I tossed the box onto the hallway table. Got it, Dad. I drove to a 7-Eleven gas station. I bought a pack of gum and a cheap neon pink plastic hair clip. Cost me 99 cents. Back at dinner, Claire was wearing a blue dress, looking like royalty. When the time came for gifts, I threw the plastic clip on the table. It made a pathetic clack sound against the fine china. My dad looked ready to kill me. Ethan, he barked. I leaned back, sipping my water. Gas station special. Thought it suited you. I waited for her to get offended. I waited for her to storm out so the engagement would be called off. But then, the matrix glitched. Claire picked up that cheap piece of plastic with trembling hands. She looked at it like it was the Hope Diamond. She looked up at me, and her face cracked into a smile. A rigid, awkward, but genuine smile. "Thank you," she whispered. "I love it." I felt a chill run down my spine. What the hell is happening? In 50 years, she never smiled at my gifts. Now she's treasuring a piece of trash? I stood up abruptly. "Claire, drop the act. I know you hate me. I know you have your friend Jax. I'm calling off the engagement. You're free." My dad slammed his hand on the table. But Claire stood up too. She walked right up to me, her blue eyes burning with an intensity I'd never seen. She leaned in, whispering so only I could hear. "You want to leave me, Ethan? Over my dead body? You're stuck with me." The next 2 weeks were a nightmare. She became my shadow. I went to the gym, she was in the bleachers, holding a Gatorade for 2 hours. I went to the arcade, she sat next to me, just watching me play, not saying a word. Rumors started flying, the Ice Queen is stalking Ethan Ford. Then came the breaking point. I was napping in my room on a Sunday. I woke up to a sound. Claire was in my room. She was at my desk, organizing my things. But not just organizing. She was arranging my pens, my books, and my migraine medicine in the exact specific order I liked when I was 70 years old. Left side, angled 45 degrees. I sat up, terrified. "You?" I choked out. "You remember?" Claire froze. She turned around slowly. The afternoon sun hit her face. "Husband," she choked out, tears streaming down her face. "You finally realized." I grabbed a pillow and threw it at her. "Don't call me that. I died, Claire. We're done. Go find Jax. Go live your life." She flinched but didn't leave. "There is no Jax. It was always you. Liar." I shouted. "I saw the way you looked at him." I pushed past her, running out of the house. I needed to escape. I drove all night to my family's beach house in the Hamptons. I needed to be near the ocean. It was where my mom wanted her ashes scattered. I stayed there for 3 days, ghosting everyone. On the third night, a massive storm hit. Hurricane warning. Rain was hammering against the glass. Suddenly, I saw a figure on the beach. Standing in the raging wind. Soaked to the bone. No umbrella. Claire. She fell to her knees in the sand, screaming something lost to the wind. My heart, that stupid, traitorous heart, cracked. I ran out with an umbrella. I found her shivering, lips blue, clutching a waterproof bag. "Are you insane?" I yelled over the thunder. "Where is Jax? Why isn't he saving you?" She grabbed my legs, sobbing hysterically. "There is no Jax. He's gay, Ethan. He's my best friend. He was helping me pick out your anniversary gifts for 50 years. She shoved the bag into my hands. Inside was a diary. Old. Worn. I opened it. The handwriting changed from neat cursive to shaky scrawl over decades. Day 1, I married him. I love him so much I can't breathe. But my anxiety is choking me. I can't speak. Year 10, he thinks I'm cold. I'm just terrified of saying the wrong thing. Year 50, he's dying. Please, God, don't take him. I haven't told him yet. The last entry was stained with teardrops. If I get another chance, I will learn to smile. I will scream that I love him until my lungs give out. I stood there in the rain, the diary heavy in my hands. 50 years. We were two idiots playing a tragedy because we never communicated. I looked down at her. The arrogant, perfect Claire Sterling was gone. Just a girl, terrified of losing me again. I sighed, the anger draining out of me into the wet sand. I crouched down. Claire, you're an idiot. She nodded frantically, sobbing. I know. Teach me. I'll be better. I reached out and wiped a raindrop or maybe a tear from her cheek. Get inside. If you get pneumonia, I'm not nursing you back to health. Her eyes lit up like I had given her the moon. You forgive me? I didn't answer. I just pulled her up and wrapped my jacket around her. My hand found hers. It was cold, but warming up fast. A few months later, Jax the rival showed up at our graduation party. With his fiancée, Mark. Jax high-fived me. Ethan, my man. Finally took the hint. I just shook my head, laughing at my past self's stupidity. College acceptance letters came. Claire got into Juilliard. But she turned it down. She chose the local Ivy where I was going for business. We were walking across the campus lawn at sunset. Claire stopped. She reached into her bag and pulled out that neon pink plastic hair clip. She clipped it into her perfect hair. Then, she turned to me. And she smiled. Not a polite smile. A radiant, blinding, I love you smile. Ethan, she said, grabbing my tie. In this life, I'm going to chase you. So don't run too fast, okay? I looked at her, and for the first time in 2 lifetimes, I felt peace. I squeezed her hand. Okay, I said. I'm done running. Let's walk.